Ah, shit.
Hey,
Welcome, boys and ghouls, to another edition of Spokane Ghost Talk. I'm your ghost host with the most, Brian James. And with me here recently is my homeboy to the side over here, Mr. Eldon. What's going down,
hey,
buddy?
what's going on to you, man?
Oh, man. Enjoying life, making dinner, cheeseburger, macaroni, all the way.
Well, you make it and I'll eat it, brother.
Hell yeah.
just leave the just leave the pumpkin pie and the mayonnaise alone, and we're good, bro.
Oh, screw that. No. Maybe pumpkin pie and ketchup I'll try, but not
We'll
mayonnaise.
we'll leave the weird stuff to Scott. How about that?
That works, man. That works. I
Yeah,
like it. I
yeah,
like it a lot.
absolutely. So, what do we got in store tonight, there, Brian? Anything special going on tonight, man?
Oh man, we got the Ghost Walk crew from
Out
Wyoming.
from Wyoming, outstanding. I've been through Wyoming, and they got this thing up there they call the little rabbits with antlers on it. Um, I would like to see one of those up close and live. I would like to see if that's really true or not. So maybe they can answer that question for us to see if those are really a thing.
Those
Yeah,
would be good if they were.
yeah, they call them jackalopes. So I'd like to see if that's a true thing. So that would be very interesting. I got to ask that question to them.
That really would be. And tonight is day 28, man. And the Podvember. I've missed a few days due to sick leave. But tomorrow is the big day, man.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow, I've got Christina from, the Salem's own Christina Carletti, who's
Awesome.
in the hottest magazine up and coming in the world right now. She can't keep it on the shelves or in stock on the internet.
Awesome,
And
dude.
also, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Hey, that's really cool, man. So what are you going to do for your birthday tomorrow? Anything special, or are you just going to hang out at home? I like hanging out at home, to be honest with you.
I think I'm going to hang out with the kids and chew on some good food, drink a
There you
little
go.
drink, and have myself a good old time.
It don't get any better than that, bro. Really don't. So until tomorrow, man, why don't we let tomorrow worry about tomorrow? And I'm really stoked about Wyoming tonight, man. So that's really cool.
Hell yeah. Without any further ado, then, brother,
Let's do it, man.
bring on Mickey, Tiffany, and Bianca.
Outstanding.
Hey,
Howdy,
Hey,
y'all.
how y'all doing?
you guys.
Good.
So, me and Brian, we were talking about Wyoming there a little bit. And, I've heard this story about the jackalope up in your neck of the woods. So, is there any truth to this fable, or what's going on with the jackalope? Can you kind of enlighten us?
They run wild. I have one mounted in my house.
There you go. Okay, so that answers that question. Thank you very much, Mickey.
There's truth behind it, dude. After
There is
years of
truth
wondering,
behind it.
there's truth behind it.
It's no longer paranormal, brother.
This is great. This is great, man. So, y'all tell us a little bit about your company, what you guys do, where you guys go, when it got started.
We are a group. We are the Ghost Walk crew, and we started because many of us worked for the local library here in River, and Bianca was one of the first ones. They had started the Ghost Walks early on for the teenagers, and then the adults kind of wanted in on the action, and Ghost Walks began. So as time went on, different ones have been on the Ghost Walk cruise, but in 2016, I had to quit work for some health reasons, and in that time, things changed at the library. There wasn't enough funding for as many employees and such. So we are now a group of volunteers that do the Ghost Walks. And Bianca, you can talk a little bit about how it got started in the early days. Hi.
Sorry, I cut out there for a minute.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was
Okay,
on the air yet.
What the
So
hell?
we started the Ghost Walks with the teenagers.
Losing people?
What's that?
So Bianca, do you want to talk a little bit about the early days of the Ghost Walks?
Sure, yeah. We started with the ghost walks for the teenagers on a Thursday night close to Halloween. And we would go through the library and we would tell them stories that had happened to other staff and visitors to the library on location. And while we were doing that, paranormal things were happening. And so we started to evolve from a storytelling event to a paranormal investigation inside the library. Well, when word of that got out, the other adults in the community wanted to be a part of that and were interested in it. And so it kind of evolved into the ghost walks that we do today. It also stems from the ghost log that Mickey had started ages ago, back in 92, I think he started.
For me, I started
So
at the
Mickey
library
started
in
in
92.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the ghost log started out as like a single subject notebook where people were able to document their experiences in the library, their personal experiences. And now it's 2 huge 3-ring binders full of information on the library, personal experiences, other investigative reports of people's experiences in the library. And so that's kind of how the ghost walks evolved.
Very nice. Paranormal consultant says, "What's up, everybody?"
What's up, Matt? What's up? How you doing, buddy?
And this here is Squeaker.
Hi.
He is our medium.
Nice to meet you guys.
So
Nice to meet you.
your library is haunted. I'm very intrigued by this. Any idea how the haunting started in the library? Any history behind it or
Let me
anything?
tell you the history. Yeah, let me tell you a little history real quick. Our city, the town library where it sits now, was once the city cemetery. And so from the 1800s to about 1926, it was the city cemetery. And then the town grew around it. There was no more room. So they decided to reinter the remains, dig them up, and move them up the hill to a newer area. And they did that. But unfortunately, when they did this, in those days, they didn't bury people like what we're used to. You know, not everybody was taken down, not everybody was in a coffin, not everybody had a marker. A lot of things were very different. And so when they moved the remains, they would do the best they could. Unfortunately, some were missed. And so as time went on, the property later after World War II became housing for veterans. And so when buildings on there, and were housing for the veterans. Anybody even ghost stories at point? And making sure no one's anything, but later was it an empty school lot. Just down from the school, there was a big swing set in there. When I was a kid, I would go to school up the hill and we'd stop and play on the swing sets. We felt like it was the old city cemetery. And later in 1979, the city fathers decided to build the library, and that's where we chose to build it because we had an old Carnegie library like many places do, but they were outgrowing that. So they built the library that we're currently in. But unfortunately, when they started building from the get-go, the worker.
Oh, I think we lost her.
I think she froze up there.
Okay. Are we good?
Oh, yeah, I think she just froze up. Mickey, you
back
there?
on?
No, I think we might have lost her.
Wow. So So the library that she's referring to, is that actually in Green River or is that close to it?
It is. It's
in Green River.
Green River,
Okay, I
Wyoming.
thought so.
So,
Yeah,
Elton,
and there's a plaque of our library that
what are the odds that
it's out front of the library.
One more time there, Brian.
what are the odds we can sweep through Green River?
Actually, we'll be going right through there, bro. When we stop there in Rollins, we're headed west into Salt Lake City. It's going to put us right through Green River.
You have to apply
Yeah.
for permission from the library manager to get a chance to do, and then one or two members of our team have to go in with you.
Well, if you guys are game, we're definitely game to
So
go.
I can give you the information. Any one of us.
Oh yeah.
That would be perfect.
So why don't we, when we hit Rollins, why don't we have this particular team meet us up in Rollins?
Yeah, if y'all can get to Rollins too, we would love to have you at the Wyoming State Penitentiary.
Frontier Prison.
Yep. I think a few of us could make it.
That would be awesome. Hello, Keith. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Mr. Nightcrawler, always good to see you.
Yours truly.
Your love and patience. Man, I do not know what's going on with the reception tonight.
Apparently my mic's not down.
So, do you guys have you gone out on actual paranormal investigations in Green River besides the library?
I have.
Where all have you been?
Seeing faces again.
Right. I've done some residents here that have had some activity. I've also done the American Legion and what used to be the old ISIS theater.
Nice. How was that?
It was pretty good. We got some interesting activity happening.
And let me tell you, Brian, for Green River, Wyoming, that's quite a bit, man. That's a pretty long list.
Right.
So you got this small town that used to be a cemetery dug up, which I'm sure pissed the spirits off pretty good. And now they just are roaming around your town trying to get people off of their land, it sounds like. I mean, is there any idea if any of them were Native American or?
We're missing Bianca.
Yeah, I saw that. She clicked out altogether.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not backstage or anything.
Huh.
Hopefully she hops back on.
Well, let's start with Tiffany. Tiffany has some great stories from when she was a child and her children.
Yeah, definitely, Tiffany. Tell us any stories you got.
The library actually opened in 1980, and in about 1982, I was about 8 years old, and that's when I had my first experience at the library. I was in the bathroom, and I happened to look up on the wall, and I saw this old woman's face, and she looked like she was really angry and a little bit terrifying. And so I finished my business and hurried and got out of there. And ever since then, I had gone into that same stall to look for her face, and I never saw it again. And it wasn't until I became part of this team that I realized that other people had the same sighting as I did with this old lady.
Oh, wow.
My children have also had experiences in the library. My oldest daughter has actually heard her name called. We were standing side by side, and it sounded like someone came up in between us and said her name. And we both looked at each other, and nobody else was around. But we clearly heard it with our ears. And my youngest daughter, she was probably about 2 years old, and we were looking in some of the books, and my oldest daughter and I were getting impatient because, waiting for a 3-year-old gets exhausting sometimes. And yeah, so we finally just told her, Tia, come on, hurry and pick that book that you were reading. And she goes, no, that little girl said it wasn't very good. And we're like, what little girl? There aren't any little girls around you. She says, that one that was just here. We were like, oh, okay, well, don't get that book then. We need to go.
A good book.
But my girls like to go and read books out loud because they think that the spirits of the children that we believe are there like to be read to. And they seem to enjoy doing that.
Eldon, you need to take note of that, buddy.
What, reading?
Yes. I'm an excellent reader. I do voices and everything when it comes to reading to children. So
nice.
Hold on.
For that.
Let me write that down. Hang on. All right, I got you, man.
Excellent.
You have to remember, we're librarians as well. So that's great.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep. Ghost hunting librarians.
So I mean, this
So-
is really cool. You guys.
Okay, what else?
You investigated places. Like what does your walking tour consist of?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What does your walking tour consist of?
We basically, now people buy a ticket, and we are limited to small groups because it's easier. They come in, we tell them the basic history, walk them through different areas of the library. We have paranormal equipment. We let them use it so they see firsthand what goes on. We tell our stories, and the girls, everybody on our crew has stories. And we just go around to see if the spirits are talking to us that night. Sometimes it's slower. Sometimes it's crazy. You just never know what you're going to get. But you guys should know that it's up to them if they want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always live my motto by, we work on their time, they don't work on ours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
That's
the
right.
same with
Hey,
family tree.
Bianca.
Yes.
Bianca, tell them the story of the NHS.
So
Group
our
that
local
came
high
in.
school's National
National
Honor
Honor
Society had special requested a tour through the library as a reward for reaching a goal for a fundraiser that they were working on. And so when they met that goal, we were happy to meet with them for a private tour. It was a rather large group for what we're used to. It was probably about 30 people, 40 people maybe. But they were well behaved, and they were super quiet when we did EVP sessions. And we were trying to do an EVP session in the ladies' room at the library, which is a very active location most of the time. And we were all being very quiet because we were doing an EVP session. But we asked a question out loud, and we actually heard a disembodied voice in the bathroom with us attempting to answer our question. And when everybody realized that it wasn't anybody physically in the room speaking, there was panic, and they ran from the bathroom. Even though it wasn't, there was this mass exodus, and it was a child's voice. I don't know why we panicked.
The recording's a hoot.
But so we did. We've heard disembodied voices as well as EVPs on playback.
Perfect. And, what we're doing is it's pretty much a paranormal road trip. And Eldon, my man, tell them about what we're doing.
Oh man, we're going to be taking this trip. It's going to be, for me, it's going to be about a month long. Brian's going to meet me about a week into my trip. And from there, we're going to take off, and it's going to persist for another 3 to 3.5 weeks, starting in Pennsylvania, going to Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, and working our way west. And that's where we're planning on stopping at the Frontier Prison there in Rollins. So,
But we would definitely love to come in and possibly do the library and maybe the theater. You know, it just baffles my mind how would there be little kids in the library? Like, did something happen?
Well, remember they said that the library was actually built on the cemetery, so you never know who might have been buried in that cemetery. Back in those days, you know, the mortality rate for children was very, very high, and you know it's very probable they had quite a few children in that cemetery.
Now, is there any native burial grounds that was disturbed up there?
No.
Okay. Wow, this sounds like a fun place. You know, has there been any physical attacks or anything like that in there?
Nothing negative.
No attacks. But you'll often feel something like tug on your pant leg, or something like reach up and grab your hand, or
Sometimes
like
they'll just
your
run their
hair.
hand down you.
But they're very not negative.
That's awesome. That'll be a change of pace from some of the places we're going to.
Right, and that's why we really enjoy the investigations that we do there. Is it's we know we're safe.
Yeah.
That's a big plus too. You know, going into a safe location. You can communicate with them, and you know they're not gonna harm you in any way.
Right.
You know, they'll play tricks on you or talk to you, and that's about it. That's a good investigation right there.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the spots we're going to, straight up demonic, going down, and you know, I'm all for bad entities, you know, but I mean, we'll use, for example, Bobby Mack.
Right.
You know, I'm scared shitless to step foot in that place.
Are you going there?
We are. That's one of our
Nice.
spots in Kentucky.
Wow, incredible.
Have you guys figured out? Oh, sorry, Brian.
And you know, the stories that I've heard about it, there's not one single good story I've heard.
Right. I've only seen the televised stories of people, investigative teams that have gone there, but I'd love to hear your personal accounts once you've gone.
Oh, well, not only are we going to have the stories, we're also going to have this all video recorded, and we'll have photographs and things like that. A lot of these places, we really count on going live for some of that as well. So,
have you figured out what platforms you're going to go live on, or do you have your own?
It's going to be through StreamYard, so it'll be on a Parapush network. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitter and Twitch.
Nice.
So, Tiffany, the couple residentials you've done, I'm sure they don't want their name out there and they want confidentiality, but
right.
What were some of your findings?
Most of it is just pipes rattling, things that can be debunked. There is one house in town that I won't ever go back to. The young lady that lives there with her parents had messed with some things that she shouldn't have and opened some gates that she didn't know how to close, and it allowed a lot of things to come in. It is definitely, and I don't use this term lightly because I don't believe that everything is demonic or evil just because an angry spirit is there. But this residence definitely has something demonic in it. It has caused the family a lot of strife. The parents have divorced. The kids are sick. Animals die all the time. It really just is not a good house.
Oh yeah, you open up a gate to
So they
somewhere,
keep
you
putting
don't
out.
know what you're doing, and on top of that, you get a gatekeeper there,
Yeah.
which he directs everybody in, but doesn't let them come out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
So-
we did catch them on EVP saying their names, and it's just not good. It's not a good place to be.
So did they call you guys in for help? Did they call you for the help in that particular home?
They did. They did.
And were you able to give them some kind of resolve to the issue?
We were able to hook them up with a local demonologist who has been working with them for a couple of years now.
Very good. Okay.
that is awesome, Tiffany. Because a lot of the teams, they'll be like, well, I'm sorry, we did what we can do, and then they'll just brush them off.
Yeah.
But I think that's awesome. You find somebody to get in there to help them. And
Yeah, I feel that's what it's about.
Demonologists are hard to find on the phone.
Yes, but it's very, very, very light. Mickey, is it Mickey?
Yeah. For some reason, it keeps kicking me out.
I noticed that. You're in and out and in and out. That's weird. I usually don't happen.
Right. Sorry.
You're good.
No worries, I mean, sometimes the internet's a pain in the ass.
You want to run some tests there, Brian, and see what's going on there, buddy?
I never know.
Some of our internet area isn't the greatest, so I apologize. So I missed part of what you've been talking about. What I wanted to say was I personally have seen 3 full apparitions at the library, but for 2 of those, several other people saw them at the same time. So the first one, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So in a library, it can happen anytime. So, I know you guys probably hear this. Oh, is it better to come at midnight, Halloween, whatever? You don't know. You never know.
It
So
doesn't
my
matter.
first 2 in the afternoon, waiting at the front desk on a lady. We got super busy, and I noticed to my right at the next computer for checking out, another lady that basically looked somewhat like Bianca was standing there, but she was just looking straight ahead, just not interacting, just straight ahead. And so I asked one of my coworkers, would you help this lady? And she goes, I'm sorry, I'm helping someone else. So I had to ask another coworker who was across the way. And I hollered, hey, Hannah, if you get a minute, would you help this lady? She goes, sure, I'll be right there. So she comes around, you have to kind of walk around the desk to get to where I was. And she goes, what lady? And I look and she's gone. Well, you would have had to have walked past where I was, the other girl was, and where Hannah had been sitting to get out. She was nowhere to look at. And the lady I was waiting on, Jack said, Mickey, I saw her too. I don't know where she went. She was just gone. And so it dawned on me what I saw. And I'm like, holy cow.
Oh, wow. So it sounds like
So
if we can
library, it became, for some people, they don't have things happen. We're just more open, more receptive. But some of the people I worked with often would say, oh, you're just making that up. And I wasn't. Started the first week I worked there. And I had said stuff, ESP sisters really bad and things like that. But
what the hell is that music?
I don't know. I thought it was in
Playing
your
almost
end.
the whole time. It just got really loud.
it's not here.
No,
Maybe
it's
I went
silent
out
in my
here.
house.
Not here.
Wow,
That's
that's strange.
All right.
That was
I thought somebody
entertaining.
had kids watch.
I thought the TV was on somewhere.
So, what's
That's great.
Okay.
the library? So you see apparitions during the day, and it's active 24/7.
Yeah.
So it sounds like to me the best thing, Elvin, if we get the library, is to put up our 8 cameras stationary all throughout the library, record during the day, and
They
go
won't
in
let you.
during the night and investigate.
Well, depending on the size of the library, do you think? Depending on that library, you might have to go in there with handheld stuff.
Because it's a library, it's patron privacy, and they don't really like you putting cameras up because of the patrons.
During patron hours.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've asked for that, but it's a rule, library rules. So
Gotcha.
yeah. So first and foremost, you've got business hours going during the day, and then when you have to just depending on what days, and we always have to book time of when we can get in when the library's closed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not everybody wants to be on camera.
No.
Well, yeah, and they're big on patron privacy. So
Yeah.
That's
I'd love to see the cameras we could turn on and off during off hours, but we don't have those yet.
yeah. We could, when they close, we could go in there and set them up. Head back in there about 9 or 10 and see what happens.
Yeah, that would be great.
Set up a couple meters, a couple cameras, a couple REM pods. See what we come across.
Yeah.
A couple people on our crew, Mary and Russell Connolly, they bought themselves SLS cameras, and they also bought us the crew one. And so we do run SLS cameras when we do our ghost walks as well.
Nice.
So that's been a really great tool. Yeah.
The SOS cam is definitely a good piece of equipment to use.
Yeah.
When we do our ghost walks and we dig out the SLS, the patrons go nuts because we always see something on those. Always, we've never not. But on every ghost walk we've ever done, there's been at least some activity. Some are quieter, but we have some activity. Other times it is crazy.
Nice. So what was the evidence caught at the theater?
A lot of it is just residual that's hanging out there.
Those are interesting as well. Now, just to know what they do over and over again at a certain time, at a certain day.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear the music from when they did the shows. You can hear people dancing. Again, there's nothing negative there. I believe it's just a bunch of residual energy.
You're talking about the old ISIS theater?
Yeah.
I mean, that would still be a hell of a thing to capture on camera, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Listening to
We have some really big pictures that are.
Oh,
Sorry, we have some really good pictures that some of our patrons have captured during those walks of a man in a top hat, a little girl, green mist, blue mist,
The astronaut.
shadows. Yeah. This,
The man
this
in the
is pretty
top
good
hat.
pictures.
Do you have them?
Really good.
Do you have them handy, like right next to you, or because if you do, you
Well,
can
I
send them to
might.
my messenger. You can send them to my
Okay.
messenger. I can download them, and I can show the
Let me
fans.
pop out. Let me pop out for just a second. I'm on my laptop. I might have them on here. Let me look.
Okay. So Bianca, what was your best experience in the library?
So we had a music group come up from Salt Lake City, Utah, to play for the Zombie Prom that we hosted at the library, and this was probably 10 years ago. And we took the band on tour through the library on a ghost walk while we were closing down the library after the event and things like that as a way of saying thank you. We took them on the tour, and the drummer was very skeptical. He kept saying, "Oh, this isn't real. Nothing cool ever happens. This is all BS, And so we were up in the staff lounge, which is a really active place, and we asked the ghosts in the room, how many. The question should have been, how many of you are with us? But somebody misworded the question. They said, how many of us are there? And the ghost counted that there were 11 people in our group. And said it through the ghost box.
That's awesome.
And then beyond that, we were like, can you tell us the name of someone in the group? And maybe they would call out my name because they're familiar with me or something of that nature. But we were like, can you say the name of someone in the group? And it said, seeing Sarah. And the drummer laid his phone down on the table and was completely white. He was completely washed out. He had been typing a girl on his phone, and her name was Sarah.
Oh, wow.
So they were reading over his shoulder and saw Sarah's name on the screen.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was my biggest moment where I was just like, we know that they're here. They're answering in real time. It's an intelligent, interaction with the spirit, not just a residual playback, because they said that they were seeing Sarah's name.
Dead. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really intense for me.
All right, well, we have a couple of pictures here. The first one, this is the theater, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful theater too. That is gorgeous. And then I just received a picture here.
Yeah, I just sent you a couple pictures. See if you get.
Now, is it to the left or to the right?
To the right of the right spot.
If you look close, you can see, like she said, to the right of the bright white spot, it's actually a fan on the desk. And there, you'll see what looks like a gentleman in an evening, what do I want to say, tuxedo. And you'll see the white shirt, the dark jacket. You can see his hand if you look close. And the high collar, he wears facial hair. And I wish I'll look and see if I can find the other one for you that breaks it down a little better.
Because, I definitely see the full body apparition right there to the right of that white dot in the middle.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And that's fantastic.
One of our local patrons, Paula Burrell, captured that during one of our ghost walks. And the other one is the little shadow boy. If you look, you can see him sitting like he's on air, and he's like holding his knees up.
As this picture here, this is
something?
fantastic.
This is taken by somebody just snapping random pictures. And the original picture, I think, has Bianca. Wasn't it the night, Bianca, that we had the skateboarders on the stairs?
Yeah.
You were calling the cops, and he was when they saw something behind her, and when they cropped the picture, that's what they found was the little shadow boy sitting like on the stacks.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It doesn't happen all the time, but we love it when people come forward and share their stories, their pictures, their recordings. There's lots of EPs, there's video, there's
And that's definitely what we want to do, you know, is come in, investigate, and then once we get through all of the evidence and everything, you know, reveal exactly what we have captured and pretty much present you guys with all the evidence we've captured in video forms.
great.
And in raw form as well. And I think it would just be fantastic to investigate with you guys in general.
I'm going to show you, Brian, you and I had previously talked, and I told you there was a book. And I'm going to show, this is the book that I wrote when I worked at the library. And these guys had a big hit in this. And so it's Spirits in the Stacks, Tales from Sweetwater County Haunted Library. The library sells it. It's available on Amazon. Several of the local bookstores and museums sell them. But a lot of the stories are in the book. Some, not as many pictures as I had hoped got in there, but we also have the Ghost Walk Crew page on Facebook that you can go to. And we are posting things as we have time or as people, you know, think others are interested.
Dad.
I'm on a podcast.
Dad.
Evidence just from that library to be able to write a book about it.
Well,
I mean, that in itself is, wow.
Well, back in those days, there was a lot more money at the library. And I approached the then director, and we were getting so much activity and so many requests for more. And our ghost logs, Bianca was saying, was getting just filled. And so I asked him, can I write a book about it? And it took a long time. I mean, this was like just a short project. I started in 2011, and it didn't get out till 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, because you still had to work. And then on your off time on the desk, you get your other work done, sneak some of that in.
Yeah. And where do you find your book again?
You can find it on Amazon, and you could just put in my name even, and it'll come up. But the libraries, all the local libraries sell it, the bookstores locally, the museum. So shout out to them because they're selling our book. And this is a Library Foundation project. They picked it up. And so by buying the book, you're supporting our local libraries. All the money goes to them.
I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag now. I was waiting for the perfect time for this one, and hot damn, did it feel like the perfect time for this one. And this is gonna be a shock to my partner here. The reason I'm going on this trip, not only to back my boy up, just in case he gets scared, he's got somebody to snuggle with. But and vice versa, you know, I'm a giant snuggly bear. But I too wrote a book about 5 years ago, and I was on my last chapter. Didn't have it backed up, and my computer crashed.
Oh no.
I went over
Oh.
55 hours of footage, DVD, evidence, everything just gone.
Ugh.
But I'm going to be writing a book about this
I can't imagine. Oh,
trip and about the paranormal past. I'm going to name it My Time on the Other Side, a Paranormal Adventures Lifelong Journey. And every spot we go to is going to be featured in this book.
Nice.
And I think it's going to be phenomenal. Matt says, Brian wrote a coloring book. Yes, I did, and it's color by numbers too, damn it, Matt. That's our paranormal consultant for you, always picking on the little guy. But I'd love to hook you guys up with him as well. He does his own podcast called The Paranormal Consultant, and he is a fantastic guy. One of my best friends, one of my ghost brothers. And yeah.
That's exciting. What an endeavor.
What's that?
I said that's exciting that you're writing a book. That's quite the endeavor.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I'm going to do probably my 20 to 25 best places I've ever investigated. A couple of them will be about Spokane.
Right.
A couple of them will be about the surrounding areas, but mostly it's going to be about the road trip. So Squeakers,
Hi.
the hell you doing? Are you just stalking my podcast now or what?
Yes, I am. If I
We cannot get a word in edgewise with her, you know. I mean,
I gotta jump out of my shell. No, I just gotta jump out of my shell. And half the time when I do go speak, I kind of jump on over you guys. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back here and watch. So.
Yeah, I mean, Matt says my chapter in your book better be a pop-up. It's gonna be a pop-up of my fist going in your face, you butt munch. So, you know, it sounds like you guys got a phenomenal little town, great for ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get permission to come in and do the library.
That'd be great.
And, you know, we'll have ourselves a phenomenal time. Most definitely.
there's
Yeah.
quite a bit of paranormal in our county. Great River, Rock Springs, all around. So I don't know if it's everywhere or we just happen to have quite a bit.
Were you guys ever on like Dead Files or anything like that? Because I seem to remember hearing something about a library that moved.
There's
No, we've not
quite
been
a few
featured on
haunted
one of
libraries
the-
out there.
What was that?
I said there's quite a few haunted libraries out there. And we've had a few shows contact us, and they were name brand shows to come do a thing with us, and then they backed out at the last minute whole time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, like literally, like
Oh.
we were talking to them, say like today and tomorrow they call and say we're not coming.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you we're not real famous, but we're hoping to hit that mark with this trip, and you know, if we can land all these investigations and whatever spot we investigate is going up with us.
So-
that'd be cool.
That's cool.
So, you know,
I hope you guys have a great trip.
So right there at Green River, between Green River and Rock Springs, you guys have a tunnel that goes right through, right down Interstate 80, correct?
Yep.
It's
Right
it's
above
right
Green
over
River.
Green River.
So
Yes.
so you got the river, that's running right through there too as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of rock that
Sandstone.
is? What kind of rock is that tunnel cuts through? Do you know what kind of rock that is?
I don't know for sure. I know we have a lot of sandstone locally.
See if
I
you
know
have any
there's a lot
granite.
of underground water.
See if you have any granite.
Probably some.
Water flowing, that's going to definitely pick up some activity that
Oh
causes
yeah.
some
There's a
energies.
spring that runs under the library.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's
And
going to
it,
help your
guess where
situation.
it runs? Eldon, here's an interesting fact. It runs from up the hill where the new cemetery is, down past the library where the old cemetery was.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. We all think
That's
it has play on that a bit, because we have times that certain spirits kind of come through, and other times others show up, and so it's never the same one. You never know who you're gonna get.
You're okay.
That's what I find interesting, though, and that's I had a theory back in the day, and I know others do too, that spirits could pop in whenever they want to, and I kind of feel that way. I caught a picture of my grandfather one time, and I won't say which one, just out of respect for my family, but it was weird because I've never had that happen before. And this was years ago, and part of the reason why I'm part of the paranormal today, and I'll never forget it. I think it's that once you see it, you want more of it.
Well, or you want to know why, or how does it work, or will it happen again? And yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't work at the library anymore, but I'm sure the girls still get questions. We used to all the time, people coming and saying, "You're gonna think crazy." I tell you, if I had a nickel.
Yeah,
She froze.
a lot of people think we're crazy for what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been called everything from a scam artist to a crackhead to just every name in the book you can possibly think of. I've been called at least twice.
My favorite one is oddball for me. Old school on that. I can't tell you how many times I've been called that.
Well, do you guys have an Instagram or a Facebook group page or anything like that?
We
have a Facebook page.
Just go walk crew, and just ask to join. Brian's been on it already.
I'm already asked to join, so I'm already there. So there should be a request from my.
Nice.
I'll be hitting approved shortly, but yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys are here, so I figured it'd be a little bit.
Yeah.
And something I can offer you guys too is if you ever need a logo, let me know. I actually do customized logos. I've done them for dozens of teams already. So I'd be happy to help you guys out if you'd like a new logo.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think we have 9 people on our team. We have 2 married couples and then a lot of gals. And everybody brings their own expertise to the group, which is really nice because we have a variety of people that are like myself. I've just been like, I know what I worked with. That's what I know. We have people that are Reiki instructors and healers, and they're spiritual people, and they come with all this different knowledge, and so it's a really nice team, really good bunch of people.
Nice. Our team is about we're going to be cutting the fat off of the T-bone, if you will. But by the time I'm done, our team's going to probably be about the size of anywhere between 8 to 10.
It's a glorious day. And that's a good size because sometimes some people will be gone. So you get a nice, mix. So for us anyway, that works very well.
Yeah.
Everybody's very dedicated to it, and so it makes it work.
Most definitely.
Some new music?
I don't know who's got music.
Anybody?
I hear
That's
music.
as hell.
That might be on my end.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we got-
Dracula style music. That's creepy as hell.
Yeah, we got the TV going in the background, so you're probably hearing that music.
Okay.
Matt is doing a video in about an hour tonight on the bashing, midnight Eastern Standard Time. No, I do not ignore your comments, paranormal consultant. And thank you, Paranormal Nightcrawler, for letting him know I'm distracted. But as always, you got his back.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
Well, guys, before we end, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. And
Yes,
hopefully
thank
we
you.
see you on your road trip.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it was very nice meeting you guys. Appreciate you coming on, and we do look forward to seeing you on this trip.
Yeah, definitely. Keep in touch.
Right?
And for sure, most definite.
All right.
And one more
Good
time,
luck, guys.
would you tell the folks how to get a hold of y'all?
The Ghost Walk crew on Facebook.
All right. And are you guys on Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that?
Not yet. We just have Facebook so far.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Everybody's busy working, except for
Go to the App Store, download the Parapush network, and it's like a Facebook, but strictly for the paranormal.
Oh, okay.
And I guarantee you guys will love it. It's very easy to use, very user friendly, and they're definitely building it up.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, all right,
Check it
guys.
out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great night, and definitely we will see you guys down in Wyoming.
We look forward to it. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, guys, that was a great show. Squeakers, quiet as always.
Yep.
I couldn't hear myself think, man.
I couldn't either. I don't know if there's a way that we could contact StreamYard and somehow they can take some of that static down or what.
Are you getting static on your end?
I was a lot of it, and that's why. And then at one point, it was literally sounded like when you're watching an investigation and you hear something like run at you. Sometimes you ever heard that? That's what it sounded like. That's why I went like that because it scared the crap out of me for a moment.
Oh wow!
So it caught me way off guard, and yeah.
Well, we definitely got to keep in contact with them, Brian, and see how this will fit in our trip there. It looks like it's going to be right on the way. So I don't really see too many issues with that whatsoever. We should be able to slide that in without any kind of logistical hiccups.
Beautiful.
I'm excited to see your guys' trip. I really am.
Yeah.
And I might not show it, but I'm excited to see it.
As always, please hit the like and subscribe button. Share the crap out of us. And other than that, for your ghost host, Brian, Mr. Eldon, and my little squeakers, you all have a ghoulish night. And we'll catch you tomorrow for myself and Christina Carletti's Salem's Own. We'll be having a birthday party podcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Nice.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
You as well.